let's start in child's posture just to kind of give this practice an official start in which we get into a quiet place in the body. So let's lower the hips and lower the head. And you can let the arms be soft and bent, or you can find extension in the arms. But let's take a moment to observe the breath, observe the stillness of the body and the motion of the body. Seeing that the body is both still and moving at the same time. And then begin to deepen the breath. So maybe you start with a couple clearing breaths. You might breathe in and out through the mouth a couple times. Just engaging a more conscious breath. We'll shift into a victorious breath, breathing in through the nose, fogging out through the mouth, fogging in through the mouth. Close the mouth, exhale through the nostrils. Lips are sealed, but now we're fogging in and out. Connecting to the breath on another level. Let's start to rise up to table, even as we stay committed to the breath and its depth and richness. So from here, we're going to be starting with shoulder rolls while the hands are on the mat. So let's sink first into the shoulders. So I usually say let's not go into this space, but let's go here. And so we've sunken, but now start to roll the shoulders back and then push into the hands. And then take the shoulders forward and then sink back into the shoulders. So we're going to do this a few more times. I was doing this morning and I found that it actually really helped open up the shoulders and the chest. So we're going to go through a few more times. There's a couple variations I found. So the rest of the body is just following the way that we're releasing into the shoulders and then pushing away from the shoulders. So these are such small circles. There's really not, a big space that we can move into here. And now as you're going through, you might also just give the head a little bit of motion. Not necessary, but it helps. We're going to rotate the other way. So when you're ready, just start to, push into the hands, find that length, and then take the shoulders back, sink into the shoulders, take them forward. This will be a nice little warm-up for our sun salutations. Couple more. You might get some clicking in the shoulder blades. So we're going to find now the hands in a different position. So we're going to create fists, bring the knuckles down, but then turn the shoulders inwardly. So the thumbs are looking out, and we're just going to keep the thumbs drawn in, just like we're creating these fists. So inner rotation of the shoulders, then we're going to continue a few more circles. And then we'll go the other way. So, it feels kind of a little awkward, and that's okay. Do your best to keep the arms somewhat straight here. I think bending the elbows would make it even more awkward. And then let's release. Bring the palms down. Inhale, lift the right arm up. Exhale, set the hand down. Inhale, lift the left arm up. Exhaling, set the hand down. Just take a couple more of these. And then we'll have the hands come down to the mat. And we're going to take our first vinyasa from here. So if you're going to have the knees for support, let's officialize that and bring the knees back behind the hips. And then you're going to drop the hips a little bit here so that the heart is forward between the thumbs and slightly forward past them. You have weight in the fingers and the knuckles. If you need a little bit more intensity, you'll roll over the toes and lift the knees. So now we're going to try to pull the pelvis in either way, wherever you are, activating the core. As you exhale, bend the elbows and keep them over the wrists, lowering. You can go all the way down, tops of the feet to the mat. Press into the palms for cobra with hips down, or upward facing dog with hips up. And then we'll come into downward facing dog. To help you with that, you can bring the knees down, roll over the toes, lift the hips, but you don't have to if you are in that upward facing dog. So from here, let's take a few deep breaths, finding a little bit of motion here, maybe pedaling through the legs, giving them a little attention. We haven't worked with them yet. So we're keeping the palms down, and we're kind of drawing the elbows towards each other, keeping the arms straight. So they're not really moving towards each other much at all, but that helps us rotate the shoulders in the right way for this posture. And then let's look forward. Look forward. I think I said that. Step the feet forward. And then we'll lower down in a forward fold. Now we want the hips to be rotated inwardly when we're in our forward fold. So that's why having the big toes together and the heels slightly apart, that helps with that alignment. Okay, we have the hips lined up with the knees and the ankles. Next inhalation, come up halfway, lengthen the spine, squeeze the shoulders back. Hands can stay to the mat if you're ready for that. Exhale, fold, release. Inhale all the way up to standing. You might sweep the arms behind, out, or forward. Take the arms up, lifting. And now we'll move through full sun salutations. Bring the palms together, thumbs in towards the heart center. Inhale, reach the arms upwards. Engage the thighs, the glutes. Maybe lift the toes. Exhale, fold forward over the legs. Release the head. Inhale, come up halfway. Once again, look forward. Exhale, hands come down. Step the feet back. Maybe bring the knees down. Exhale, lower down, as we did before through this vinyasa. Inhale, come into cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. 4 deep breaths. Pulling the low belly up, toning the belly, toning the organs. We're going to take a few more on our own. Let's make it, we'll start with 2 more. So going at your pace when you're ready, stepping forward. Inhaling halfway. Exhale, lowering. Inhaling all the way up. And then hands together. So we'll meet after 2 sun salutations. Once you've completed those 2 cycles, we'll be meeting and standing at the top of the mat. So hands together, standing tall, maybe big toes touching, heels apart. So we're going to be on the knees for a little bit. Let's see, I think first we're going to step to face the side of the mat, bring the arms to a T. But you might need a blanket or something soon for the knees if you have sensitive knees. So arms are to a strong T, opening out. Let's find a warrior bee. Turn the right toes to face forward. Left toes can still face side of the mat. Then lunge into the right knee. You can have the palms facing out for a moment. Then flip the palms to face up. And then flip the palms to face down. And then we're just going to continue to move the shoulders this way. So we'll flip the palms to the sides and up and down and maybe even out, right? So see about changing the direction of the palms as you look past the right fingers, continuing to rotate the arms. 2 more breaths. Then we'll straighten the right leg and go into the other side. So turn the left toes to the short side of the mat, lunge in to the left knee, right toes face the long side of the mat, and then we'll continue here with the shoulders. About another breath. Then we'll straighten the left leg. Release the arms for a moment, give them a break. It's such a small movement, but it really does get tiring. Now let's find an extended triangle posture. So we're going to turn the right toes, again, to face the short side of the mat. Left toes face the long side. Arms to a T. Reach out with the right arm. Stay over the right leg, trunk over the right leg. Then bring right hand down to the leg. Inhale, lift the left arm up. And then turn the head to look up past the left thumb. And see how low you can go here without taking the trunk towards the side of the mat. Okay, so you want the trunk to be parallel to the sides of the mat. Maybe you can go to the thigh. Maybe it's the shin. Maybe it's the mat. If you can get the mat, you might be able to grasp the big toe with the peace fingers. It's just a little bit more of a stretch. And remembering it doesn't matter how far you go, it just matters how far you go in relation to where you can go right now and be challenged. So not in comparison to each other. Let's look down at the right foot. Inhale, rise to standing. Exhale, pivot to work on the left side. Left toes face the short side of the mat. Right toes to the long side. Reach out with the left arm. Lower down to the left leg. Inhale, lift the right arm up. And again, see how far you can go, but keeping the trunk in line with the long sides of the mat over the left leg. Looking up past the right thumb, a couple breaths. And we'll look down at the left foot. Inhale, rise to standing, arms to a T. Toes face the side of the mat, then we'll take the hands behind, interlace the fingers, squeeze the shoulders back, open the chest, look up. Exhale, fold forward. We're going to be here for a moment, so check in and see. Maybe you want to heel toe the feet further apart if they can go further apart, getting a deeper stretch in the back of the legs, maybe even getting the crown of the head down to the mat. Or you could just let the head hang loose. But put some effort in the distance between the feet. Maybe a nice clearing breath. We're going to release the arms down, press into the palms, just come up halfway, and then walk to the front of the mat. We're going to bring the knees down, left knee, right knee, and then from here we're going to be working on the knees. So check in and see if you need a blanket, then you can bring it over, or the option is we're going to be on one knee at some point, so you could roll over the long side of the mat. So we're going to start with hands to hips, and then step the right foot forward. And I think we'll just keep the left knee under the hip to start. So right knee, right ankle, line up, left hip, left knee, line up. And then let's take the hands behind and interlace the fingers. Squeeze the shoulders back again as we did before, looking upwards. And releasing the hands, bring right hand to right thigh, left arm up and over to the right, taking a side bend. Now we're going to be reaching this left arm to the outside of the left thigh. So we'll start to take the elbow over and this right hand stabilizes the thigh. Find a spot for that elbow or the upper arm. And then let's bring the palms together and sink into this for a moment. Looking past the right elbow without trying to get the head to the elbow. And then one more breath. We'll inhale, come to center, bring the hands back to the hips. Begin to extend the right leg, straightening it up, picking up the foot all but the heel, the toes face up. Begin to hinge forward to come into a stretch for this right leg. So you might stay right here and just focus on keeping the back long and the neck in line with the back so that you aren't collapsing the head. Taking the heart forward towards the right foot. So if possible, if it feels right, you can bring hands down to blocks or to the mat. And then every exhalation, relax the heart into the foot area, right? We're trying to get that heart closer and closer towards the foot. And the reason I'm saying that is to inspire the length of the spine so that we aren't trying to get the heart towards the knee. Every exhalation, seeing that the body is changing, the body is moving and responding. One more breath. And we'll come out of this however you'd like, but we're going to meet with the knees down. So you might rise first and then switch that foot. So the right knee comes to the mat, the left foot steps forward. Again, we're starting with the knee, left ankle lined up, right hip, right knee lined up. Let's start by taking the hands behind, interlace the fingers, squeeze the shoulder blades back. And then release the arms. Bring the left hand to left thigh. Inhale, right arm up and over to the left, keeping the right waist nice and long. The left waist too, but it's going to contract a bit. So like you're feeling like you're lifting out of the right knee. Out of the hip, out of the knee, out of the shoulder. Now we're going to guide this right arm over to the outside of the left leg, finding a spot for the elbow or the upper arm, and then bringing palms together, twisting to the left. Again, looking past the left elbow, but not trying to get the head to the left elbow. Now we're going to start to rise and bring the hands to the hips, extend the left leg forward, pick up the foot but keep the heel down, toes facing up. Then we'll start to hinge forward, keeping the back long, heart extending towards the left foot, every exhalation watching the changing. Also every inhalation watching the change, but there's going to be a little bit of a lift, and then every exhalation ascending forward. Again, maybe at some point the hands can come down. You can even bring hands to the leg. About 3 more deep breaths. We'll start to rise up, and then we're going to change over to seated. So coming down to seated with the ankles crossed, sitting up tall. We're going to cross the right arm right across the chest, hook the left elbow in front, and then pull this arm in. And then a couple times what we're going to do is, as this right arm stays straight, is pull this right shoulder back, pulling it back and then releasing it, and then pulling it back and releasing. Back and then releasing, and then just relax that right arm as you pull it in. Then we'll take this right arm, releasing it from there, reaching it up and behind. Left fingers to right elbow, pull the chin in. So we're strengthening the chin, we're stretching not the chin, strengthening the neck, stretching the right tricep. And then if you can find the bind behind the back, fingers to fingers, clasping. It's a good spot for a strap, but in a shorter class, it's harder to quickly get that strap. Now we're going to release. You can open the arms, and then let's switch sides. Left arm in front of the chest, right arm pulling it in. Then we're going to straighten this left arm, and again, pull the left shoulder back, pull the arm back into the shoulder, and then release. Pull it back. It's a very subtle movement. I can tell that this needed to be done for me. So then after a few of those, we'll just relax the left arm and then pull the shoulder in, or pull the arm in. We'll release the left arm, take it up and over, either fingers to the elbow with, again, the chin drawn inward, the head lifted, so not head down, head lifted. maybe hand to hand. And releasing. Okay. Maybe move the shoulders around a little bit. Let's just check in with the neck. Give some movement to the neck, side to side motion, ear to shoulder motion. Just going to kind of let you run with that. And then maybe chin down and up. And then maybe ear up towards the sky for a couple breaths. Other ear up. Head to center. And come all the way down to the back. It is time to rest. So we didn't get much of a hip opener in today. So if you have time now, you could do it now. Or if it's really kind of important, actually, I can sense it. So let's just take right ankle to left thigh, pull it in. Just take a couple breaths and you're going to sense that you'll probably need more here. So maybe making an effort to do a little bit more later today or after practice. And then releasing and switching sides, ankle on top of thigh, pulling the leg in, furthest leg in. And then releasing and finding a restful position, feet away from each other, arms away from the trunk. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, let everything go, including any effort, any tension, any need, any desire, any motive. Releasing all of that. The palms faced up, the hands are empty. The feet turned away from each other. Nowhere to walk to, nothing to hold. Relax the face. Nothing to think about, relax the brain. Letting go into this rest. Without changing anything, notice the lightness of being when we aren't concerned with what needs to be done, or what drives us. Just experiencing that for a moment is so important, even if it's for a minute a day. Now let's start to come back to deeper breath. Sense that you're in this body, and this body can start moving the hands and the feet. Maybe take the arms behind. You can move the hands around or move the ankles around. And bring the knees into the chest, arms around the knees, some swaying side to side. And then let's rise up to seal our practice. Sitting up tall, palms together, thumbs at the heart center. Feeling this internal peace and wishing it for others. Let's seal that with the sound of Om. Breathing in. Om. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me today. I honor the light in you that is the same light in me. Namaste.